Hello everyone, I'm back with another Paint with Nate, and today it's a bit of a terrain project rather than just a regular miniature. I'm going to try something new today. I'm going to try this in a kind of Blue Peter style for the British viewers, you'll get that. But basically I've made one of these and I've got a bunch of steps along the way, and I'm going to show you in one video how to do this without you having to wait for stuff to dry. So what I've got here is the finished product. As you can see, it's cool little thing to put in your dungeons or on your battlefield, and it's a flickering fire. How I've done that is I started with a tea light candle. See here? Does the same thing. It's blinking. There you go. So let's get started. Right, lights on so I can actually see what I'm doing and you can see what I'm doing. So first things first, pop out the plastic flame on top. Put that to one side, we'll need that another time. And then I want to take the casing off. I'm just using my sculpting tool for this because it's handy. And I'll put this to one side as well because I don't want to get paint and all sorts of gunk on my electrics. So there we go, we have our base. So now what I need to do is measure up the side of your casing here and around, and make yourself some sides. I'm using hardboard, regular cardboard will do. What you want to do then, especially if it's a bit thicker, is to score the card as you go around to make it a lot easier to fold. So I'm going to go around, and I've pre-measured this, but I've done it every 5mm, and then keep going, score all the way down. And what that's going to do is once you've cut it out, you're going to have a side. Then just go around, and before you do anything, gently bend each score. As you can see already, we're getting a nice curve here. So just nip it between two fingers and then just little fold. There you go. So it's not very round yet, but don't worry, that's what your tea light's for. So what I'll do now is I'll get some super glue and just give it a good brush over it. If you're using it straight out of a tube, that's great. Gorilla Glue is great for this. Because it's nice and strong. So there we go. There's that on that. So now I'll just press that on. Now just make sure it's nice and tight all the way around. And then what you get is it's just where you're hiding the fact that it's made from a tea light candle, by giving it a bit of texture, a bit of body. So there we go. Now I would recommend, just because it is under a bit of tension, clamping. But here's one I prepared earlier, ready to go. So that's nice and dry. So now what you want to do is you want to use a compass and draw yourself two concentric circles, which will obviously fit on this. So I measured the base of this, it's 40mm. So I drew a 40mm circle, and then I drew a 30mm circle, which, as you can then see, will give me a 5mm ring, which I proceeded to cut out basically with a scalpel. It's laborious, it takes forever, but in the end, you'll get that. If you want, keep these, use them for something later, I don't care. They're not part of what I'm using. So there's my base. Here's my rim, if you will. Then again, generous layer glue around. That's the last of the super glue used. Then just press that in place. Again, I recommend clamping stuff like this. So I'm going to do exactly that. Because had I the time, I might just hold it, but I haven't because I want to get this through the video. So there we go, there's a dry one. Next, we're going to texture it. So I'm going to texture it using some textured masonry paint. That's the smooth one. I want the textured one. There we go. Textured masonry paint. Give it a shake. Lovely stuff. Nice and gloopy. So, best way I've found to do it is I put 2 fingers in there. And then just slather it on. Don't be shy. Because it takes a while to dry the textured paint. So I kind of slop it on and then brush it to go back and rebrush to make sure I'm not obscuring detail. You can use smooth for this if you want. I prefer giving it a stony finish. So that's why I used a textured paint. You can also make textured paint by mixing the old school way by mixing sand in with paint. If you want, and obviously you can add as much sand as you feel necessary for your own piece. But that's for you to do. Right, almost there. Right, there we go. Let's put that down. I will find the lid, there it is. Right, so once that's dry, I'm going to get some glue and my sand. Right, so bit of sand, bit of glue, which is blocked. Yes, that's what I need on video. There we go. Just splash some glue in there. Don't be shy. So there we go. Just make sure I got it all. Like that. Pardon me. Then in the sand it goes. Wipe off any excess that you don't want. Right. And then key piece. Oops. Make sure you clear out any that's around the hole where the flame's gonna go. That is crucial. Right. So when that's dry, I would recommend giving it a second coat of watered down PVA, because that'll just help bind all the sand in place. You won't get anything chipped off. Right, from here, next up, you're gonna, once it's all dry, spray it or paint it a base coat of your choice. I'm gonna spray this grey, and through the magic of editing, there's one that I've sprayed earlier. So from there, I'm going to paint the coals in the middle from a torch or brazier or whatever you want to call it. might use a better brush than that. What about that? What about that? Hey. Again, I'm not. You know, we're not looking at winning Golden Demon competitions here, so I'm not too worried about how thick this is going on or anything like that. You know, when you're doing this, take as long as you want. I'm making a dozen of these in total, so I'm not too, none of them's gonna be a centerpiece there, so they're not getting kind of centerpiece treatment, if you will. Go. And I'll find if I'll just smear it a bit, and it looks a bit scorched. It's all gravy. Right, there's that done. Once that is dry, like, ta-da! I'm going to go in and get a dry brush, and then I'm going to get medium grey. Just give this a light dry brush, just to pick out the texture a bit. Nothing crazy. Just a little bit. Right, we're almost there. So next step is we're going to give it an ink wash. Right. Going back to my good old favorite dark tone, which I used on all of my dungeon, so that it'll match with that. So basically exactly the same as I did on my dungeon. Yeah, just splash it on there. Dungeons aren't squeaky clean. These sort of things probably would not be kept squeaky clean by monsters, though they are being very considerate in lighting torches so adventurers can see. So, you know, you're asking too much if you ask them to clean up as well. So I'm going to make this nice and grimy. Again, I'm using my 2 fingers in the inside of the housing technique to keep myself relatively paint free. If you're doing this on your own, you can use a stick, you know, but yeah. Right, so let's make sure I haven't missed anything there. Right. So, there we go. Plunk that there. And when it's dry, it'll look like that. So, we're almost there. What we're going to do now is we're going to go and the casing we took off before, we're going to put back in. These particular ones line up. So you just got to look for where they line up. Almost there. So click that back on the top, and got one step left because it looks very much like a candle at the moment, and I want it to look like a roaring fire. So I'm going to use some Tamiya transparent paints. Give it a quick shake. So and I'm just going to slap that on there, like that. And I'll of course drop it. And get stuff stuck to it. Right, so I've gone almost all the way to the bottom there in the orange. And then I'm just gonna, while it's still wet, single dip. Just gonna work my way down from the tip. So get a nice blend. So I'm just kind of just mixing that in. Then go back, work on it, get a bit, and just put a glob on top. And there we go. And that now, there we go. That's it. Leave that to dry, and well, there's two now. So that's it. I hope this video's been instructive, informative. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. Tell me if you liked it. Well, tell Kev if you like this format in the comments below, and we'll see what we can do for more videos like this. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.